Sorry about that text you got, I didn't ever mean to send it. So you got me in my feelings, I'm so fuck autocorrect. And I've been doing fine, except the stabbing pain up in my chest. And I'm stuttering, okay, I'm done. But now you're gone again. I'll take all your issues, you can have my friends. I don't miss seeing them, miss you on my phone screen. Now I save the tissues that you bought me from a nosebleeds. I don't think about you, but it don't sleep. Gone again. I'll take all your issues, you can have my friends. I don't miss seeing them, miss you on my phone screen. Now I save the tissues that you bought me from a nosebleeds. I don't think about you, but it don't sleep. Summer days, don't miss your taste. Out in the crawl space, wanna break, still see your face. I just don't wanna be a missing case, walking in place. Keep up in my pace, stay awake, that's what they all say.
I'm shot, really not what you wanna scream about. Iced out, metaphor, cause you wanna bite that. Know you got it in me, but my comments ain't like that.
What you wanna talk about?
What you tryna get at?
Lyrical on the boat, man, it's my RT. Hit them all like a joke, man, it's all I fear. Catch them all, fuck them all, it's a bright idea. Never heard a ringtone, but now you're gone again. I'll take all your issues, you can have my friends. I don't miss seeing them, miss you on my phone screen. Now I save the tissues that you bought me from a nose.
Hey guys, welcome back to another vlog. Today is Monday, and it is officially the first day out of retrograde. I am so excited. I am like celebrating today, although not gonna lie, I'm feeling like really down and out today for some reason. Maybe it's just like the high of everything with Mercury in retrograde now like fizzing out. I don't know, maybe I just need another day to like recoup from the past X amount of days of being in retrograde. But this past weekend was kind of tiring too. If you guys seen the last vlog, we did a lot of like flea marketing, and then we went to a friend's house for some drinks and just to hang out. And we, well, I did a puzzle with some of them, and yeah, we had a pretty good weekend. And then yesterday was Mother's Day, and I didn't really film a whole lot, to be honest with you guys. I don't drink very often, so I was like out. But James let me sleep in on Mother's Day, and then I was up for a little while. I spent some time with the boys. They gave me my card. I kind of got to pick out my Mother's Day gifts. Saturday when we went flea marketing, I got like a typewriter. I've been really wanting a typewriter for a while, and I found one that like I absolutely love like the make and model of. So I'm excited. I need to like brushing up on my typewriting though, because it's majority of it's going to be for like decoration, but I am like wanting to be able to use it sometimes for like photo props and stuff like that. But yeah, and then I found some Stephen King books and a cool Dracula mug. So it was a really good flea marketing day. But yeah, after hanging out for a little bit with him yesterday, I then fell asleep and took a nap. It was a very restful Mother's Day. I kind of felt a little guilty about, but I mean, sometimes you just have to take it. Then I went outside with the boys yesterday afternoon. They played like on a little splash pad, and they had water guns and water balloons, and we grilled some chicken thighs that James marinated. They were really good. And he also made some pasta salad, which he knows I love. And then it was just like a casual night. We finally finished. We started a movie a couple nights ago and we fell asleep. I think it's like Someone's in Your House or something like that. It's a horror on Netflix, and it's like a couple of years old, and I had never seen it. And I'm trying to catch up on a bunch of like more recent horror that I've been behind on. So we watched it, and it was really good. I finally finished it last night, and I was like, oh my gosh, that's really good. Where have I been? I actually just thought it was going to be like a thriller, and then it starts, and I was like, nope, this is a horror. It's a good thing we watched it when the boys like went to bed. But yesterday, I didn't read a whole lot. It's my first day, I think, this year where I barely read at all, just because I napped, and then on top of that, like, I wanted to be more present with the boys and stuff. But I did start Emily Henry's Happy Place, you guys, and this is kickstarting this week's vlog because I think I'm in a romance mood. I think I'm going to read some romance this week. Last week, again, if you've seen that vlog, I read like thrillers like all week, and I think I kind of need a break. I could get down with a good horror right now, though. But I'm going to be reading some romance this week, and then this weekend is the Romanceathon, so perfect kind of like, you know, transitioning into that. I kind of wanted this to be read for that because this is my book with like a pink cover, but I'm like, I'm starting a weekend early on that, so I don't know. I might have to pick out a different one, or I may even still just count this and participate this week in it because we know how my weekends are. But some of my other picks for the Romanceathon will come later this week, because I also really have been wanting to read Part of Your World, and that one is the first book, and then it's Yours Truly or Truly Yours. I think I've said it wrong many times. So yeah, but I'm currently sitting in here. I'm trying to clean up some makeup because I've made a mess. But that was my Mother's Day. I hope that you guys had a great Mother's Day if you're a mother, you're celebrating with your mother, or even if you're a dog mother or any type of mother. I hope that you guys had a great weekend, and have a great week, because we are finally clear of Mercury in retrograde. I was hooked last night, but I did want to kind of like hold off a little bit. So I didn't read a whole lot. I think I only read like a chapter in, but I've been hooked today, you guys. I've read half of this book already. I am committed. I may even finish this today. I'll let you guys know. But I did talk about this in my May TBR, but this has kind of like that second chance romance in it, but it's also fake dating, which I love that trope. So we're following Wynn and Harriet, and they're friends, but they were friends in a friend group, and then they fell for each other. So we're kind of getting like the backstory on that and how they fell for each other, while also having the present day where they've actually split. They've been separated for 5 months and their friends didn't know, and now their friends have invited them on this like vacation where they're together for a week, and their friends have like exciting news that they don't really like want to spoil, so they're having to like fake like they're still together and they never broke up, and things are like very awkward. There's tension. I'm having a hard time believing that the friends don't think something is up, but anyways, it's Emily Henry. It's been really cute so far. I've only read one other from her, Book Lovers, but I'm kind of wanting to turn this into reading 3 books by Emily Henry. So let me know, should I pick up People We Meet on Vacation or Beach Read next? Because that'll be my 3rd book by Emily Henry. I've had my moments where I'm like, oh, I should vlog, you know, and check in with you guys, because I did finish Happy Place by Emily Henry. But I've also been telling myself, like, calm down, don't vlog too much, because this weekend is the Romanceathon, and I know I'm gonna vlog a lot more then, but it's midweek, so I thought I would check in with you guys while I get ready, because I have like a few errands to run. I'm just doing very minimal makeup, so there's not really a point to like film this for anything else. But I read this in a day. I started it like really late, like, you know, at night, like after midnight. I think it was like 3 o'clock in the morning or something like that when I was starting this, and then I ended up finishing it that same day. So in a 24-hour period, I finished this. And what I can say, because I don't know where I left you guys off, because this was on Monday, what I can say is that I really enjoy Emily Henry's writing style. I do feel like there's a lot of hype around it. It's kind of like the Colleen Hoover situation, where I feel like some people are really going to like it and some people maybe not so much. I actually think I like Colleen Hoover's writing a tad bit more than Emily Henry's, but I really think it's just like, you know, everybody's preference, or your preference of which one you like a little bit more. I can say, for reference, this is my 2nd Emily Henry book, like I mentioned. I have read Book Lovers. I really liked Book Lovers. I want to say I gave it 4 or 5 stars. I can't remember which. I would say that I would read Book Lovers again. I just think there's something about her writing, though, and I think the length of her books, where I wish that they were a little bit shorter. Like, I think a lot of people really love the length of her books. I think this one is I want to say this one is close to 400 pages, which is not bad. I just feel like a lot of the time with this style of book or this type of book, I'm looking for 350 pages max. Like, and I think that's just because I'm not technically like a big romance reader, but I just feel like there's so much of the story that could just kind of be like toned down into just 350 pages and I'm good, or less even. So I really do think I am the unpopular opinion there, because I have seen a lot of people say I cannot believe it's over, or I wish there was more to this, just because they wanted to like continue reading. And so I get that completely. I have been there with some authors and books, but yeah, for me, it's just kind of a more like a standard romance for me. This one wasn't anything like, I guess, too crazy for me. I feel like I don't really want to be a broken record, so I feel like I can just like jump more into the review, since I feel like I have talked about this in the last check-in, I believe, about how Harriet and Wynne are no longer together, but they're having to come together for their friends for this trip. And so it's kind of like fake dating, because it's like a really important trip for some of them and they don't want to like spoil the trip. So I can say the fake dating trope I really do like. I really like that one. I think here she did a really good job with it. The only thing is this kind of goes back and forth a little bit between like back when they were dating. So it's like thinking about like, and more so like them just thinking about it, like thinking about back when this happened or when this happened. And, you know, it's like really sweet to kind of know like more about their relationship when they were together and stuff. But at the same time, it's really like a bittersweet than jumping back to them and like not liking each other. And I think that's why for me, I've just never really been a big fan of like the second chance romance. I usually feel like if something didn't work out one way or another, it's just kind of like, I don't know, I just kind of have like more of like a negative mindset about it. Now in their situation, I really think a lot of it was like pettiness and miscommunication, which is probably the trope I hate the most. So I think that might be why this did not work out for me. I ended up giving this one a 3-star. I don't think it's a bad book. I think that I feel like the first half is really, really good. It really sucked me in. I wanted to know more, but the last half just kind of, I don't know, it just kind of was just like a simmering point where I was just like, am I still enjoying this or is it really going downhill? And then by time it was like getting to the end and wrapping up, I just kind of felt like it was lackluster. It kind of fell flat for me and I was really bummed about it because I don't know, I think I wanted more from this, or maybe the conflicts and stuff to be like a little bit different. I don't know. It was very strange in parts and just kind of felt very childish. And I think that's where like the miscommunication kind of comes in, where I wasn't a fan of that. I think I also felt like, and you know, this is kind of me being a hypocrite, because if you guys have been on my channel, you know I really like Allie Hazelwood, and I feel like she has used the same story and tried to change it a little bit a lot, but I do really feel like that was kind of the same ordeal with this book, and I feel like kind of like book lovers of just kind of like, I don't know, like I feel like some things were a little too similar or too close to home for me, like from that book, that I was like, I don't know. I think my whole thing with Allie Hazelwood though is the fact that like I read Love on the Brain first and then really enjoyed it. But then I read The Love Hypothesis and loved that. So I feel like if I would have read The Love Hypothesis first, Love on the Brain might have gotten a little bit of a lesser rating for me, but I still think they're both really good for different reasons. But I think when it comes down to Allie Hazelwood, besides like the prose I like because of Allie Hazelwood, I also really like her characters for the most part. So I think that's where I kind of fell with this one a little bit, because sometimes I felt like I really liked Harriet and Wynne, but then other times I was like, what? So yeah. But her writing style still is entertaining for me. Like I said, I really fly through her books. But I can say with this one, and I feel like with book lovers too, once you reach, I feel like at least, if not at 50%, at 75% of the book, you're just kind of like, okay, wrap this up. That's how I feel anyways with her work. I don't know why, but I felt like that with book lovers, and I also got that feeling with this one. But I wanted to check in with you guys and let you know how I liked it. Now, this was a book for my TBR for this weekend's Romanceathon, and then I flew through it. I still think I'm going to keep it in place, but I just know that I need to, like, calm down on my, you know, romance reading, because I'm going to be reading that this weekend and next weekend. So I did take a break. I have been reading the third Finlay Donovan. Finlay Donovan Jumps the Gun. I'm still enjoying the series. We will see how it goes. I can definitely see where she's taking it. This almost feels like a sitcom now, and like we really are dragging this out. It's kind of like that meme when people are just like, oh, you mean a show that has like X amount of seasons, when really it could have just been like one like short 5-minute conversation with his kids talking about How I Met Your Mother. It kind of feels like that, you guys. Like, I feel like we could have already wrapped all of this up, but I do give props to Elle for continuing the series and trying to make it different, because I feel like a lot of the time series will just kind of end, and you either really like the ending or you really don't like the ending. So I think it's kind of fun that she continues to leave us on cliffhangers and continues the series. I do kind of hope that the next ones deliver maybe a little bit of a different storyline, because I feel like the 3 have been pretty similar as far as like this whole conflict with like the Russian mob and all of that. Like, I'm kind of over that storyline. I really like the Hit Woman storyline, but I kind of want it to go in a different direction for Finlay. But I still have like half the book to finish. I've just started it. My reading has been a little bit slower during this week, but I also wrapped up Twilight and Midnight Sun for that vlog or like video that will be coming soon, hopefully. And yeah, I've been kind of working on that. So I took like yesterday and even today, like kind of wrapping those 2 books up a little bit. I'm almost done with them. I think I have like maybe a chapter left in them. And then I'm hoping tomorrow I can finish up Finlay Donovan Jumps the Gun, so that I can just really focus in on the Romanceathon and read the next books, because I thought it was going to be Part of Your World this week, and then Yours Truly, I think is what it's called, and then A Lie for a Lie, which is a like sports romance, so looking forward to that for this weekend. But I think I'm going to switch up my TBR just a little bit. I think I'm going to do the Part of Your World and then A Lie for a Lie, hopefully, just to kind of get in all of the prompts and just kind of keep this one in place. I'm really in a horror mood, you guys. I want to pick up a horror book, so I will probably do that next week, maybe in between the Romanceathon and then the 72 Hours and the Smut Den, because I need a good horror in my life right now. But yeah, a little bit of a shift in my TBR for this weekend, but I'm going to try to just finish the Finlay Donovan and just kind of give myself a little bit of, you know, more of a break, because Friday is going to be a busy day, and yeah, then this weekend is going to be the full-on like romance reading for like 72 hours. So we have a lot going on in between that. Besides that, I have been watching the I started binge watching it and then I kind of like slowed myself down, but I've been watching the last season. I'm so sad it's the last season, but I can kind of see where it's starting to go a little downhill, so I'm like, okay, maybe it's a good thing they're just kind of like wrapping it up. But the last season of Working Moms, it's on Netflix. I love this show so much. I think this is like season 7, but it's such a good show. I feel like even if you're not a mom, it's just like, I don't know, it might be like a good form of birth control for you though, if you're not a mom. But oh my gosh, I love this show so much. This season is, I mean, I guess for the average person, you could say like any of these seasons can be kind of questionable with some of the choices and actions these characters do. But this season for me, I've been a little bit bummed about. My favorite character is Anne. And I just feel like this season, like, she has like a lot of life-altering things going on with her that I kind of like am just really missing her like sarcasm and just like very blunt attitude she normally has. So it's like really throwing me off, and I just miss like the regular Anne so much. But there still is so many funny things going on. Like, I die almost every episode. Highly recommend it if you have never seen the show, because it's one of my favorite, especially when it comes to like comedies of like newer shows. I really like it. But I'm going to finish up my face, go run some errands, and talk to you guys later this week.
Never heard a ringtone, but now you're gone again. I'll take all your issues, you can have my friends. I don't miss you, and I miss you on my phone screen. Now I save the tissues that you bought me from a nosebleed. I don't think about you, but it don't sleep. Gone again. I'll take all your issues, you can have my friends.
Hey guys, it is officially the 72-hour readathon, or Romanceathon. It actually started yesterday. So I didn't really check in yesterday. It was kind of a busy day. I did end up wrapping up Twilight and Midnight Sun. I'm so glad, because I thought it was a really good idea reading those back to back, but it was a little challenging, especially like towards the end, reading the same thing twice back to back. But I am also still working on my Finlay Donovan book. I'm hoping I can finish it this weekend too, but I am kind of putting my Romanceathon TBR kind of like a little bit higher and putting it on the back burner for a bit. But yesterday was Axel's play day at school, so we were able, well, the parents, I was able to go and eat lunch with him for a little bit. So I did that. Meanwhile, Roman toured the middle school, which is my heart, you guys. It's been an emotional time knowing that like 3rd grade's coming to an end for him, and then he's going to be moved to the middle school next year. I'm like, oh, I don't know if my heart can take this right now. But yeah, I didn't really get a whole lot of reading done as far as the Romanceathon yesterday. So I am really, really glad that I was able to finish Happy Place earlier this week. So it kind of worked out in the end. But today I am reading Part of Your World, and I don't think I'm going to be able to get to the sequel this weekend. And so far I'm like about halfway through this one, and I can say like it's very, so far anyways, it's weird because her writing style, this is my first one from Abby, I think it's Jimenez. I have never read anything from her, and I've heard amazing things, and I'm a huge Little Mermaid fan, so I had seen Part of Your World and heard that there was some Disney tie-in, so I was like, sold, I bought it. But I am enjoying the writing style. It is kind of reminding me, kind of a mixture of Emily Henry, but I also feel almost like I'm reading like an Allie Hazelwood book at some points. So writing style I'm really, really liking, and I'm excited to see where it goes. I am only about like halfway through it. So I don't know, I may be able to finish it today, which would be really nice because tomorrow is going to be pretty busy. We have once again another birthday party, and yeah, I don't know how much I'm going to be able to get done, but my 3rd book, A Lie for a Lie, we'll talk about it whenever I start it, but I do know the audio, I think, is on Scribd, so I'm excited about that because I'm going to put that off for tomorrow and hopefully get through this one today. But it has been a pretty eventful day here, and I'm sorry if it's loud because it is the weekend, so everybody is home. But this is my official TBR for the rest of this weekend. Like I said, I finished Happy Place. I gave it 3 stars. This one so far, I don't know. Right now, I'm kind of leaning towards 5-star. I think it's going to be a really good one. I do think some of the aspects of it are pretty predictable. But these characters, you guys, I really like the characters. I'm a little torn with the main character. I mean, I guess there's two main characters, but Alexis, the female lead, there, to a certain point, I can understand where she's coming from, but another point, I'm kind of just like, girl, what are you doing? You know? So we are following these two right here. So we have Alexis and Daniel. So Daniel lives in a small town that literally has like a population of 300, and he works at his family-owned B&B. So he lives in a loft over the garage, and then he rents out the huge like house, which is like a Victorian house. And he has a dog, and he's helping his farmer friend take care of a little goat, which is where the goat comes into play. It's very small town country life. They have like this pub that everybody goes and hangs out at. They have like a diner, that type of vibe, but they also are kind of like a tourist place because it is right on a river. So during the summer months, they open up a lot more in the area, like a wine tasting place. Like the farm petting zoo becomes open. There's like kayaking and bike riding and trails and different things like that. So it becomes a lot more lively, and that's where the bed and breakfast kind of comes into play. So during the like fall and winter months, they kind of close and slow down because there's not really a whole lot of traffic through. So Alexis is a ER doctor, and she is traveling through because of a funeral. Her I think like great aunt or something passed. So she's traveling through and swerves in the fog to miss a raccoon and ends up in the ditch, where Daniel comes up and finds her and helps pull her out. And that's kind of like the first like interaction we get with them. It's very quirky, very funny. I really am enjoying the banter. She kind of goes to live her life in like the city, which is like a few hours away, and she has a very, I think I forgot to mention, but Daniel is the mayor of this small town, and his family named Grant is like the county, and they have been in the position of like the mayor for the past like 125 years. So he kind of is a big person for that small town, and the house has been like in their name for like 125 years as well. I think like his great-great-great-grandfather built it. So there's a lot to come into play with that. There's like a pretty solid storyline with it, where the same with Alexis is she works at like this like renowned hospital, and it's very much Grey's Anatomy. She has kind of like a legacy there with her family. Both of her parents were surgeons, and they had her and her twin brother who just married and left. And so now the legacy kind of like falls on her to stay at this hospital. And there's been somebody in her family, her Montgomery family, at this hospital for 125 years. So there is that conflict of like the distance between them, and just kind of like this bubbling romance starting while he's kind of like really falling for her, and then she's like falling for him, but at the same time she just got out of a relationship with another surgeon. And it's very much like giving me like the Notebook vibes, where like the parents are like would never in a million years like think Daniel is a good fit for their daughter, or think like she's better than that, they're better than that, and they want her to be with this guy that she recently broke up with. And she's living this like fancy bougie life, but really falling for the country boy. So it also kind of reminds me of Sweet Home Alabama, but this isn't like a second chance love or anything like that. It's very much so like hiding relationship, and just kind of like, I don't really want to say like friends with benefits, because they're kind of more exclusive to each other, and it's very sweet. But What I have to say I really, really like is the fact that like there's like no miscommunication in this whatsoever. They're very straightforward with each other. And then on top of that, like anything that may be considered miscommunication is only because Alexis is not like giving that information, and he kind of is like, okay, there's probably a reason why she's not like telling me this. I'm just gonna give her her space. So I do feel like that's where Abby does a really good job of writing this as like not really miscommunication, but just like knowing that they don't really have that type of relationship where this character wants to tell him everything about her life. Anyways, I'm really liking it. I do kind of like the Disney tie-ins. I feel like it's not like what you think. So I personally was just like, that's kind of cute. I kind of want to see what it's all about, you know? But I actually, now that I'm reading it, I can really appreciate the fact that like, it's not like cheesy Disney tie-ins. One that I've seen mentioned is the fact that like, her and her ex are kind of like both like co-owning the house currently, and he refuses to leave. So it's supposed to be like she's trapped in this house, so it's like Beauty and the Beast. We of course have like the Part of Your World Little Mermaid tie-in of her being a redhead, but she is also you know, has like this prestigious family and like I guess royal and like the surgeon medical world who don't approve of her being a part of his world. And so I do think all of that is really, really cute. So yeah, I will check back in with you guys on the book, maybe tomorrow. I don't really know. I feel like I'm gonna have a pretty full-on reading day. Plus, there's been a lot of mentions of The Princess Bride, and I have been wanting to watch some romances while reading romances, so I'm gonna try to tie in a little bit of that too. And I think I'm gonna watch The Princess Bride today. James has never seen it, so maybe he'll watch it with me. And then yeah, maybe The Notebook, maybe Sweet Home Alabama, since I'm kind of getting those vibes with this. I would watch some Disney movies, but we did watch some Disney movies for Mother's Day. I think I forgot to mention that in one of the last clips, but we watched like Tarzan and a few other. We've actually been watching quite a bit of like old Disney cartoons this week. We watched like Toy Story, and I think I forgot what they were watching the other day. I walked in and there was another classic on. I was like, oh, I love this. We watched Hercules, which is one of my favorite. So yeah, I'm like, I think I've been getting some pretty good Disney tie-ins this week, movie-wise, so I think I do want to watch some romances to help get me, like, in the romance mood, I guess. Some favorite romance movies or rom-coms, because I am enjoying these. I just feel like these two, there's some aspects that are very close to home at the same time, so I think I would have enjoyed reading them a little bit separated than, like, back-to-back almost. I mean, thankfully I had, like, the Twilight books and like the Finley Donovan in between a little bit, but yeah, there's some tie-ins that are a little bit close for me, and I don't know, I'm just like, I'm really wanting to read like a good horror right now, so yeah, I'm hoping some rom-com movies will kind of help like pull me into like that like romance that I'm trying to stay in for these 72 hours.
My friends, I don't miss you with my phone screen. Now I save the tissues that you bought me from a nosebleed. I don't think about you, but it's all sweet. Gone again. I'll take all your issues, you can have my friends. I don't miss you with my phone screen. Now I save the tissues that you bought me from a nosebleed. I don't think about you, but it's all sweet. Some days I don't miss your taste, but some nights fall on my face. It's alcohol without all the chase. I get away without a heartbreak. You in the city, you're out of state. Chase you from out, but can't keep up pace. I left your backpack with
So
your
I am
phone
getting
on the
ready. We are
staircase.
about to go to Roman's, like his best friend's birthday party. I am getting ready today, and I didn't really film this for a YouTube video, but I just filmed it for an Instagram reel on my beauty Instagram, AllieBrienne _MUA. But I tried out the BoxyCharm box and the Ipsy Glam bag today, some products from it, so those are on my face. The eyeshadow's a little questionable. Yeah, I wanted to get a look in today, so I came in here and sat down and filmed for a little bit. I'm also listening to A Lie for a Lie. It's one of those like cringy covers. I like when smut authors like offer us a like second option book cover where it's kind of like the Such Fine Print and those, which I think they only have like maybe they only have like the one cover. I'm not sure. Anyways, I like that theirs are like very discreet. There's also like the Twisted series. There's like the really like smut cover versions, but then there's also like the discreet. I'm not here for the smut covers. This one, at least he's wearing a shirt, but it still is just giving very 50 Shades vibes. Honestly, it hasn't been too bad since I've started it. It kind of just started like a regular romance book, and then I got to chapter 6 and I was like, okay. Still has not heated up too much though, because I was like, here we go. They're just jumping right into it. Now this is by Helena Hunting, and I've never read anything from her, so I'm currently, I guess, back in my smut era, and definitely going to be for the next vlog, which is going to be part of the 72 hours in the smut den, unless I burn out with this book before then. But I'll let you guys know. I'll try to check in tonight, and hopefully I'll be able to finish this one tonight, or maybe even tomorrow once the boys are at school and everything. But yesterday got away from me. We did watch The Princess Bride, but we had a little bit of an incident happen. So James was out mowing our front yard, and he ran over a burrow, a rabbit burrow. My heart. He texted me and he said, can you get out here really fast? So I dropped my book, ran outside, and thankfully they were all okay. It was like this tiny little burrow in our front yard, and like the position of it, I'm like, what was this mama rabbit thinking? Like, we've already been mowing this season, so it just did not make sense. But I'm assuming after our last mow, maybe there was like a little bit of like grass clippings bunched up there, and she thought it was like a good spot to burrow her babies. But it's also right next to like our driveway, like, ugh. Anyways, 3 little babies hopped out and took off running. Thankfully, none of them got hurt with the mower. Oh, I would have cried. If you are newer here, we actually have 2 like inside rabbits. Like, they're pretty much like our cats. And so rabbits have a big part in my heart. I've always loved rabbits so much. So, I go outside and I tried to put like some gardening like gloves on, but it was just, they were like scaring them. So I did have to end up using my bare hands to catch them because they all went into different directions. Unfortunately, the third one I was not able to find. By the time I got out there, he pretty much just said which direction they ran. And we spotted one for sure and went after it, and I had to literally climb in like my neighbor's bush and get it out. And so I put it in a box and then brought it inside and kind of put like a little like towel-like thing in it for it. So like just, you know, like burrow down and, you know, so James could finish mowing and stuff and I could figure out what to do. Then I got a text from him saying there's another one. So as he started mowing, I guess like it spooked one and he's seen it running across the yard. So I went out and got that one. And we put that one in the box with them and kept them in the box for a little bit. And they just, thankfully, everything I looked up on them, because I already knew some about rabbits, of course, but like everything I would look up on them said like if they were at least 5 inches long, they usually are at an age where the mom will start leaving them anyways, and their eyes were already open. So that was a good sign too, that they were kind of like big enough. But I'm telling you guys, these things were tiny. We got some videos of them whenever I took them back out, and I took them back out in the afternoon because mama bunnies, they usually or typically come back for their babies at dusk and dawn to like feed them and stuff, and then for the rest of the day they stay away so that predators don't see them approaching their babies. But mama bunnies are really good about coming back for their little ones, even if they've been handled with our scent. And So I did wash my hands really good, and then I rubbed my hands like on like the grass to like get more, maybe more of that scent on my hands before I handled them again. We had a little bit of a hard time getting them to stay in the burrow, but finally I was able to get them back in there. I put a little bit of lettuce in there with them and then covered them back with like their like grass and hair mixture, and just tried to keep an eye on it as much as I could. I went back out a little while later and just kind of lifted it just a little bit, and I did see at least one still in there. The third one we never did see again, and it was very sad. But I went back out to check after dark and they were gone, completely gone. And so I'm kind of like, you know, because I had just thought if I go back out there, because I put something like over, like something light over it to see like if it became disturbed, I would know if the mama came back for them or not. And it wasn't, and there was just like a little hole where you could see where the little bunnies like came out. So I don't know if their mom came and they like, you know, however they interact with each other, they knew it was her, so they hopped out. I'm not really sure, but I just hope they're okay. I hope they're with their mama bunny, because everything I read said that the mama bunnies are really good about coming back for their little ones, and that's their main like priority. So maybe she just moved them, but I literally, you guys, we have like a second bunny like enclosure thing, and I thought about putting it outside like on our back porch and like just making them up like a little home and taking care of them until they're big enough to like fend for themselves really well, because they were just so tiny that I'm like, oh, if a cat sees them, or I mean any type of predator, they're just gone. Like they're so little. And they're still like the stage where they just run and just try to like hunker down somewhere. So I'm like, no, you can't do that. So yeah, I hope they're okay. But yeah, my plan was to put them in the cage until they got a little bit bigger, and then maybe just like, you know, let them go in the backyard, and maybe you just leave the cage out there with it open in case they want to come back at nighttime and sleep in it. But they were gone. So I hope that they're okay. But it was quite the adventure yesterday. Between that, I literally read and watched The Princess Bride. There was not much more that went on yesterday because that was pretty eventful. But today I went out and checked on the garden, and I have my first yellow rose from one of my great-grandma's rose bushes, so that was really exciting. My red bush is doing really good as well. Like it's starting to bloom more with like leaves, but finally got a yellow rose in the back, which is so pretty, and the garden is also really thriving. I went out and watered it. We are getting ready to go to a birthday party. We're gonna be back at the skating rink, our second home at this point. And besides that, maybe I will watch another rom-com this afternoon. I'm not sure, but I will check back in with you guys tonight. Hopefully I'll be able to finish A Lie for a Lie. I did finish Part of Your World yesterday, and I'm really torn. I feel like this is a 4-star read, if I'm being completely honest. I just felt like in the end, it was very predictable in a lot of ways. But with that being said, I did really enjoy the writing and like the leading up to it, even if it was pretty predictable. And I pretty much guessed everything that was going to happen. I feel like a lot of people probably would be able to as they read this. But I have to say, I continue to love the banter. I continue to love the storyline, even knowing in the end what was more than likely going to happen. I still really liked the writing, and I liked the characters, and yeah, I liked where it goes. I liked where it went, and I also liked all of the extra like characters and storylines going off of the main one. And all of the hard topics that were also discussed, which I wasn't really expecting in this book. I also, like I said, I loved the Disney tie-ins while not making it super detailed. Like, you're not gonna, if you didn't think about it, you probably wouldn't go into this book being like, oh my gosh, that's a Disney tie-in. But going into it knowing that there is some Disney tie-ins, you definitely kind of like watch for them, which was pretty fun. The only other critique I have, without giving a lot of way, is there is a certain element in this book with nature and like the weather, and also a certain window in this, which has kind of a magic vibe to it. If you know, you know. If you've read this book, I don't really want to say too much more about it because I don't want to spoil anything for you. But that certain magic element, I was not here for. I felt like this was such a contemporary, just new age romance that throwing that element into the mix was very weird for me. Even if it was a slight Disney tie-in, that was the one that I was just not here for. I just thought it was kind of weird. I think the window idea was really cool, a cool twist or cool extra thing, but I think the weather aspect really just threw me. Like, I was like, what? Besides that though, I did really like it. I think the reason I would give it a 5-star is because I could definitely see myself down the line rereading this, like if I wanted to pick up a romance again or visit a past romance, and I do own it, so I could potentially. But I do think overall, besides that aspect, it's probably more of a 4 for me. Definitely a favorite when it comes to romance, because I feel like it's really hard to get through to me with a lot of romances. A lot of them fall around 3 stars. But this one was very entertaining and I did really like it. I never complained about like the length of it or anything, and I read it all in the day and really enjoyed it. Like, I kept wanting to pick it back up and keep reading in between the hectic chaos of catching wild rabbits. I also loved reading the like Q&A with the author in the back. I think that that was really fun, and like I always love to read about like their ideas for the book or their process writing the book, so I did appreciate that as well. But there's also a recipe for Daniel's crepes, and I want to make some. So we do have a pretty busy day today, but I don't know, maybe tonight for like a little nighttime dessert before watching like a movie or something, maybe I'll try to make some. I've never made them before, so this could be a complete fail, you guys, but I'm pretty sure I have everything I need to make them. Maybe not his exact, because I think his was like some type of like berry type of ordeal, but I'm pretty sure we have some strawberries, so I think I'll be able to do something with it. So yeah, maybe I will do that tonight as well. One more movie was mentioned in this, and that was Ever After with Drew Barrymore, and that is one of my favorites. I've actually watched it not too long ago because it was like, was it the 30th anniversary of it? 25th or 30th anniversary, I think, of it, and I was like, I've seen tons of pictures and stuff from the Drew Barrymore show, and I was like, oh my gosh, I need to watch it again. So I did, but I think I missed part of it, so I'm like, I think that would be a good one to sit down and watch tonight, and it's another one that James has not seen. I'm like, how? How have you not seen these movies? So yeah, I may try to do that one tonight and make a little dessert, and yeah, but I'm gonna finish getting ready because we have, like I said, the birthday party to go to, and I'm gonna keep listening as much as I can to this audiobook. I'm on chapter 8 of 29. I'm listening on 2.5 times speed. It says I have 2 hours and 40 minutes left, so maybe I'll be able to get it in time. I'm not really sure, but I will check in later regardless, or tomorrow morning, and let you guys know how the dessert was, and maybe wrap up this vlog.
In the stairwell, 'cause it's my own fault, I can't give in. I have to go, stuck up on the top floor, apologize, 'cause my goodbyes, let's reschedule when I'm not shy. And I don't wanna show my face sometimes, and I got trouble looking people in the eye, 'cause when I do I just forget all. I wanna do it, I'ma feel like I'ma die. Share my story. If you hear this song, no, it's not you, it's me, I'm sorry. I don't wanna be the reason why you make this little lie. What's the point of having pointless conversations for one night? 'Cause I'm shy, I never wanna show my face sometimes, and I got trouble looking people in the eye. Cause when I do, I just forget and when I do it, I'ma feel like I'ma die. I never wanna show my face sometimes. And I got trouble looking people in the eye. Cause when I do, I just forget and when I do it, I'ma feel like I'ma die. Wait all up a minute, I think that I'm feeling sick from all this automatic driving to your house. I'm gonna die in LA traffic, watch me crash my fucking car into your couch. Don't wanna finish up this episode before you cut me out. I'm still done cause I'm way. You can never take me.
These are my mother's. Yes, and she's dead. I'm going to rip your hair out! Do something!
Disappeared. I'm also to tell you of a long-awaited decision. So, without further ado,
Breathe. Just breathe.
it is my great privilege to announce the engagement of our son, Prince Henry, to...
Living life, I guess a bottle wouldn't break me. Thinking about 1,000 reasons why you probably hate me. And if you pull up, I'll be your biggest fan, but shoulda, coulda. I'm thinking about the past and if I woulda even stood a chance when your foot was on my dash. Now it only made me crash. I know I shoulda. And be your biggest fan, but shoulda, coulda. I've been thinking about topics to talk about, to sort it out and make it right in my head. Now that it's been longer, know that I was wrong for thinking that you always had a place in mind. Is this what I had in mind?
25 million years, cause my hands are shaking with trouser.
Guess that I found my pit. God, I hope you take me. I'm just living life, I guess a bottle wouldn't break me. Thinking about 1,000 reasons why you probably hate me. And if you pull up, I'll be your biggest fan, shoulda, coulda. I'm thinking about the past and if I woulda.
It is, I don't even know what day. I think it's Tuesday. But we just got home like a couple hours ago from Axel's kindergarten graduation. It's finally the end of the school year and I came home, took my dress off, loaded the dishwasher. I've been doing more dishes, going through things. Yeah, trying to get some cleaning done. Honestly, stay awake because I feel like if I sit down, I'm going to take a nap because I'm so tired. But we have to go pick up Roman soon. He went to the graduation with us and I'll try to insert like a photo or something. All the videos have way too many kids in them to share, but they did so good. It was so cute and we teared up quite a bit. It was very, very emotional. But Axel is now home with me. He went out to eat with me and a couple of my family members. And then we came home and he's just kind of been chilling. Their last day is tomorrow and it's just half a day. But Roman's class is doing yearbook signing today. So he wanted to go back to school. So James took him back, so I have to go pick him up in a little bit because school's almost out. It's actually Wednesday. I don't know why I said Tuesday, but I knew this week I wanted to vlog because I am still reading. I'm currently listening to Rose Matter by Stephen King. It was part of the We Read King book club for May, so I am listening to it right now. But I also started Whisper Down the Lane by Clay McLeod Chapman, and I really like it so far. You guys, I started it last night. Sorry, this angle is so bad, but I'm like, oh, my arms are like jello. But I started it last night, and like the first page was so gory and gruesome that I was like, oh my God, I'm taking a picture of this and sharing it on my stories because I've been doing that lately. And I went to post it and I had like the Michael Jackson like eating popcorn. And I flipped the page and kept reading and realized it was an animal. And then I deleted it. I was like, no. I'm like, okay, Allie, because it's so much better that it's a human. Oh my God. Anyways, I think it was the fact, I don't really think this is like a big spoiler. This is pretty much going to be around like satanic like rituals and like, I'm assuming like, I don't know if it's going to really be possession. I'm trying to go into it blindly, but I have heard some people read like a short synopsis. I think I even did in my TBR video, but now I'm kind of like drawing a blank. But anyways, it was a white rabbit, and I have a white rabbit, you guys. So it talked about its white fur and it's like pink red eyes, and I was like, oh my gosh, I'm so sad now. I'm like, no, not my Bella. But it is probably going to be a rather slow night. I'm gonna go pick up Rose soon and then probably come back home and do like some laundry, some more cleaning. I swear my like dining room table, I'm like embarrassed. Like it's just cluttered. There's packages I've gotten, there's schoolwork, papers, and the kids are bringing home like all their stuff, and I'm just like, it just all lands there. Yeah, there's a lot to do, but I'm ready to like get things going because my to-do list for like redoing rooms and stuff like that has kind of been put on pause the past couple of weeks because of all the end of the year stuff going on. So I'm like,
all graduation songs. Start with the first one, On My Way. And bring a small door. Look at all the friends I made. This memories for faith. How proud of me I can be. I see I on my way. I prouder, I smarter, I on my way. I'll be the best that I can be.
aww.
I on my way. I on my way. I kinda is smarter. I on my way. I'll be the best that I can be. I on my way. Hey, free dance. Okay, the next one. Okay, Mommy, what's the next one?
Is it ABC Rock?
Okay. The second graduation song, ABC Rock. ABC, ABC, D, E, F, G, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, H, I, J. Two with the words, two with the words, two with the words. Thank you, thank you, thank you, everyone. Thank you for all you've done. Thank you, thank you, thank you, everyone. Thank you for all you've done. It tells us to win and right. It tells us to run. It tells us to white. Thank you, thank hands. Stop your feet. It's time to say goodbye to all my friends. It is time to say goodbye to all my friends. It's time with your eyes, smile with your eyes. It's time to say goodbye to all my friends. Bye, friends. Yeehaw!
If I would, you stood a chance when your food was on my dash. Girl, it only made me crash. I know I should've. Had been your biggest fan, but should've, could've. I'm thinking about the past, and if I would, you stood a chance. And I know I shouldn't ask, but I really want you bad now. I've been thinking about topics to talk about, to sort it out and make it right in my head. Now that it's been
Hey guys, so I was getting ready for bed and editing this vlog and realized that I not only left the vlog hanging, but I also didn't ever even like fill you guys in on the book A Lie for a Lie. So I thought that I would do that now. So yeah, I finished it. I gave it 2 stars. It didn't really work out for me. I definitely am still going through my whole like smut era of like, you know, testing the waters on different authors and different stories and maybe seeing what works for me and what doesn't. And it's been a wild ride. I have been vlogging the process, so I'm kind of hoping to eventually be able to share that with you guys if I can piece it all together, and it's somewhat decent. I just don't know at this point. But I will probably talk about this one in that video as well, so I kind of wanted to be brief about it, but I just feel like it's a story, like I had mentioned earlier in the vlog, you know, it kind of starts off like a regular romance until you get to like chapter 6, and then it starts kind of getting a little steamy, and then it like kind of like falls off and just turns more into like a romance. So I actually didn't mind that, but I just felt like it was almost like, okay, this kind of sounds like a little cruel, but it was almost like I felt like the author was just trying to throw together a story that's been told multiple times in different ways, just to throw together a book that has steamy scenes and then call it a smut book, you know, or like a heavy romance. I don't know, you guys. So it's about a hockey player, because I had to read a book, like a sport romance, for the Romanceathon. And so he is a hockey player, and he is going to stay at his like family cabin out in like, I forgot where it was at, but like this big cabin that they own or whatever. And then he meets this girl on the plane, and I think it's like in Alaska. I might be getting it confused with another book though, so don't quote me on that. But anyways, he meets her. I can't even remember their names, you guys. I actually think his name was RJ, but it wasn't actually like what he is called all the time. I think he gave her like a nickname or something, because he is tired of like these flings. Like there's constantly women that are wanting to be with him because he's like this big star hockey player. And so he meets this girl who doesn't recognize him, doesn't know who he is. And so he kind of like, he doesn't lie to her like about his life, but at the same time, like he doesn't like tell her the full truth either. Or who he is or what he does. He kind of, I think he says like he's like a farmer or something like that. I don't know. Anyways, they end up like hooking up multiple times while they're both like away for like this short stay or whatever. And then it's kind of like one of those stories where then like something happens, and then like he has to dip, and then like they lose communication and they don't see each other again for a long time. And then like in the future, they bump into each other, and then like all the lies, A Lie for a Lie, the tie-in comes in, starts coming in. And it just, I don't know, like I just feel like I can't say that I've read something exactly like this, but I also feel like it's like just such a repeated thing. And there's so many tropes in it that I feel like are just a repeated thing, that it doesn't stand out. It's not super unique, and I didn't really care for the characters either. So yeah, ultimately a 2. But I wanted to end out the vlog here. Thank you guys for watching. I know it's a really long one, but it has been the end of the school year. It's been a very like trying time and emotional time, but like exciting at the same time for the summer. I'm so excited for summer. Well, not excited for the season, but I'm excited to have the kiddos at home and like do a lot of fun things with them. And so yeah, I did want to show you guys some of like their end of the year things. So first of all the Mother's Day things they made this year, having 2 kids in school and then bringing me home all the Mother's Day stuff was like, oh my gosh, I was like tearing up going through it. And then they also have like their end of the year things, like Axel's like certificate for kindergarten, and then Roman got like the Honest Abe award, which was so sweet. And also, I've been really emotional about this because we got it at the end of the school year, but pretty much they had the 3rd graders draw what they wanted, and they had to write like a little paper about it, like what it is. So he chose Pac-Man, Roman did, and drew it and talked about how, like what he likes about it and how he tries to eat like the ghost and stuff like that. And then they send it to family relations class in high school, and like the high schools are assigned to a 3rd grader. And so Chloe made Roman's, and so cute. She drew like the little ghost and the Pac-Man on the back. But so they take their drawing and then they actually sew it. It is the sweetest thing ever. So between that and the fact that Roman got a handwritten note from a 1st grader the week before map testing, like wishing him good luck and like telling him he's smart and all this kind of stuff. Oh my gosh. And then I seen the pictures of like this year's like high school graduates who went to the same elementary as them, because there's 4 different elementaries here. So the same elementary that Roman goes to, the graduates who went to that school, they got to walk the halls in their cap and gowns, and all the kids like cheered them on. I'm like, that's my favorite part about the school, is like how when they do stuff like that intertwines them, and like, oh my gosh, it's just so special. And this is something like I'm gonna keep for him forever, and when he gets older he'll get to look back on it. It's just so special and so sweet. And just thinking about like Roman being in high school, or Axel, if one of them do like the family relations class or do something that like ties back to like younger kids, it's gonna be like that much more special to me, remembering that you know, a kid did this for my kid too. It's just, I've been in my feels, if you didn't notice. But yeah, here is to the summer and all of the different things that we hope to get done this summer and to do. And I'm excited to take you guys along with me. But again, thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it. And I will see you guys in my next vlog.
Thinking that you always had a place in mind. Is this what I had in mind? 25 million years, cause my hands are shaking with. Guess that I found my pit. God, I hope you take me. I'm just living life, I guess a bottle wouldn't break me. Thinking about 1,000 reasons why you probably hate me. And if you pull up